What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Comic Bookies podcast. Your boy is back in the saddle again, like Steven Tyler said. Let's, hold on, I knew what I was saying. Let me just say it again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies podcast. Episode 131 is here, and like Steven Tyler said, I am back in the saddle again. Let's get this thing rolling. In sports this week, NFL Week 9 is here. The unfortunate tragedy with Henry Ruggs III and Aaron Rodgers tests positive for the coronavirus. The Braves are world champs, and one of our hometown heroes, Buster Posey, is likely to retire. Some Champions League matchups, and the Final Four is set for the NASCAR Championship down in Phoenix. Who is going to take the crown? And of course, our TCB Super Contest rolls along, and I am slowly but surely catching back up to these guys. And over in the comics, I was gone last week, so I have a crap load of books to talk about and plenty of news, including the Boondock Saints confirmed for a third movie, Nintendo is shutting down more offices, and Sony has sold a lot of PS5s. This is the Comic Bookies Podcast, episode 131. Join myself and Mark, will you? What's up, peeps, out there in Live Town? What's happening? Thank you so much for joining us. You know what, Mark, let's get it out of the way. I unmuted you. Can you speak something to the fans before we jump back live?
What up, fans? What up? How's it going? Thank you for joining us on episode 131, live and direct in your speaker, in your ear. Let's get it going. Let's get it cracking. It's going to be fun. The sports are at an all-time high with the equinox hitting the other day. When you get all four, I mean, people like to say all four, man, but for me, you got to throw NASCAR in there. You get soccer in there. Man, it's an even bigger equinox for my ass. So
cool. All right, guys, we're going to go back live in a few seconds. Let me just catch my breath, get a drink of water. All right. All right, here we go. Back live in 3, 2, and 1. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Comic Bookies podcast. Like every single week, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Today, Wednesday, November 4th, 2021 is... Oh, I'm sorry. Today is November 3rd. So let me start that over again. Mark it, like last week, Mark, when you guys did the mess-ups. Mark it.
Mark
All right,
it.
back live in 3, 2, and 1. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 131. Thank you so much for joining us live on YouTube and Twitch. And if you're listening afterwards, wherever you get your podcasts, thank you so much for supporting the show. We are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Today, Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021, is New Comic Book Day. Go see Alex, go see the shop, or any shop that you have your subscriptions to. Or, you know what, even if you're a brand new comic book reader, thank you so much for joining the show. We will hopefully give you some books that you can go out and then buy, but it's half of our podcast, and we absolutely love it, and we're absolutely appreciative of what Alex does for us and the show. Mark, Sean is not here this week. It's just the two of us, but I'm glad to be back. Halloween was, a couple of days ago, and now we go straight to Christmas, right? Because no one in America gives a crap about Thanksgiving except for that one day to eat. It's like from November 1st to November 26th, it's Christmas. And then we can go ahead and, let's eat some stuff with family that, for the most part, annoy the hell out of us, right? And then from November 28th through New Year's, it's Christmas, right? Is it, am I getting that correct, right? That's how we do it in America now?
So, you might be onto something there.
At least the stores do it like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. That's true. The stores, department stores, and they do it like that. I mean, you get those. I still, associate those autumn colors so much with Thanksgiving, because once the fall hits, you get those browns and those, yellows, reds, and those darker like autumn colors, right? And that really kind of keeps me, always reminded of Thanksgiving and whatnot. But I enjoy Thanksgiving. I wouldn't say. Don't tell me that you're you're bearish on Thanksgiving like you are on 4th of July, man. I can't have you.
No, because the 4th of July is like, no matter where it falls on in the week, you're only getting that one day off, or if it's the weekend, you're only getting a Friday or Monday. But usually wherever I've worked, you get Thursday and Friday off. I used to be a big Black Friday guy, but now it's, I'll go. But now Black Friday is like, to me, it's it's an afterthought, because usually what I really want now on Black Friday, all those stores have those prices starting like November 1st, like the first, second week of November. So you really don't have to worry about, getting mowed over by a bunch of Karens trying to get their scarves or their TVs or whatever, So,
yeah, the landscape certainly has changed, man. It's just from getting the Jordans to waiting outside.
In the freezing cold. Oh my
I remember
God.
going with Alex a couple of times, but you got to admit, it was like kind of a holiday within itself. But I'll also admit, I feel like when it started to, overcome Thanksgiving, where people, stores were being open on Thanksgiving, it just became too much, It's just, I think that you still got to have Thanksgiving for what it is. People need to spend time with their families. It just can't always be about money and that mean green, machine and whatnot. But, it's fun and all. I had a couple good encounters at some Walmarts, dudes doing push-ups in the middle of the night, waiting in line. I saw some pretty fun stuff going. Not that I've been too much, but I say maybe two or three times.
It's like going to a theme park, especially Walmart. You do a lot of people watching there, bro.
Dude, if you go on my Facebook, there's a video on there of when I was in Walmart. I don't use Facebook much at all anymore, but this would probably be years ago. But there's a video of me in Walmart on one of these Black Fridays, dude. Wild, just with a capital W. It was crazy, but
oh God,
yeah,
now be careful, dude, because people are gonna go now into your Facebook, and if you're doing anything that's they're going to try to cancel you. You better be careful.
Man. I'm going to get canceled, bro. 2022, there's going to be more cancellations coming up. The one thing that won't get canceled is this podcast.
Hell yeah. Because, mainly because no one listens to us, but,
baby. Say that again?
Yeah, we won't get canceled because mainly no one listens to us, but, No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, so cheers to you. Cheers. I got more summer Oktoberfest. But, yeah. How was your Halloween?
If you think that it's Christmas all the way from November 1st till New Year's, then those last 2 months of the year, they just zip by and fly by too fast, man. I don't want to, get to another new year that quick, because that means I'm getting a year older. So I enjoy taking it 3-4 weeks at a time, man. Yeah. So shout out to October, Thanksgiving, and Christmas being consecutively all about a month apart.
But how was your Halloween?
But yeah, dude. It was great, dude. I went to my parents' house, pretty good. Kid went around. It was actually a lot more people out than I thought there was going to be. Well, so, shout out to Halloween 2021, even though it was on a Sunday. Yeah. My parents' neighborhood was pretty popping. How about yourself?
Well, we were opposite. So you went that way. I went to your neck of the woods. I went back to Newark, my parents' house, and we were, trick-or-treating. Definitely, well, obviously, like my parents got nobody last year. I can't believe they actually bought candy last year, but they got nobody. So, but it was cool. We went around. There was more people. I think there was probably the same amount of people as there were in 2019, but still not as much as I would hoped. I would have hoped that there would be a bunch of kids out, because families are like, screw this. Like, we didn't get crap last year, so let's do it up this year. Let's go around, let's go out for hours and hours. But we went out with Maddie for about, half an hour, 45 minutes, and she had a ball, dude. She had a ball, like, knocking on the doors. Like, she would knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and then knock on the door again, and then scream trick or treat before they would even, open the door. And then so when they opened the door, she was like, "Thank you." And like 2 houses, she would like take a step inside the house, like, "Oh, man, you gotta get back." So
you were letting her eat that candy, man.
No, definitely not. I've let her have probably 2 or 3 pieces, and it's like M&Ms, and that's like, if she's good and she eats all of her dinner, stuff like that. But hell no, definitely not one of those parents who just, lets them load up, for sure. Not. I'm not trying to give my kids diabetes before they're 4 years old. But yeah, no, but it was cool. So on to Thanksgiving. I know you'll probably be heading over to my house in a few weeks. We have like a nice little bunko night going, like a Friendsgiving sort of thing, a bunch of appetizers, and that's gonna be a fun game. I'm not going to explain the rules on the podcast because people don't have that time and they'll just tune out. But it's just basically like a dice rolling game, and you get in like tables of 4, people sitting across from you or partners, and then you just kind of keep moving up to like the head table and stuff. But there's, once you play two rounds or whatever, you're going to get it. And there's going to be tons of food and tons of drinks and stuff, so that should be fun. Unfortunately, with my work schedule, it's going to be earlier on a Sunday, but so my bad.
I mean, all you have to do was say 2 words, and I'm there, brother. Rolling and dice. So
there you go. And you're rolling 3 at a time,
there,
not
baby.
1, not 2, but 3 dice at a time. So, okay, so let's get into the bread and butter of the podcast. Speaking of food, let's hit it first, man. Braves, congratulations, the freaking World Series, man. First appearance since '99, first win since '95. Like unbelievable year. I don't know. We'd have to go back to the season preview to see what their preseason odds were. I'm sure there was people on Bleacher Report, gambling or betting or whatever, some of those sites that actually put what their preseason odds were. But I'd put them. They were probably inside the top 10 because they were one of the better teams in the league for sure. But just great, just a great story. What happened to them earlier in the season of the league taking away the All-Star game and them kind of shoving it up their ass, winning the World Series. And of course, it makes it oh so sweet for them to beat the Astros, dude. Oh, so sweet.
That is true. Yeah, man, I thought the Astros were actually going to make it a Game 7 ordeal, right? I thought that they kind of had the momentum after, that grand slam. I think it was Soler that hit it Game 5, and they went up 4-0, and it kind of looked like it could have been curtains for the Houston Astros there, but nonetheless they come back to Houston with the momentum, and I thought that it was going to go to a Game 7. I think that would have been great as well, but man, Atlanta just too many weapons out there, just playing great ball. I don't feel like they're only going for that home run all the time. Mike, you always complain all the time about how, the game has changed. Everyone just wants to hit the home run ball, but I kind of see Atlanta wanting to play a little bit more of small ball and whatnot. But yeah, Fried gave him a couple solid innings, and what can you say, man? Atlanta for the first time in 26 years, and like you said, 2 stadiums later.
3.
The 3 or whatever. Yeah, 3.
I know what you mean. But man, I think Soler's home run still hasn't landed yet. That was a freaking moonshot, man. I mean, I complain about the launch angle and all that stuff, but man, that was a swing, dude. And and at the same time, it's not just solo shots. They're getting people on base, any way they can with base hits and walks and everything. And then that's what those first 5 runs are. If you can play a little bingo baseball and you depend on those 3 or 4 guys to hit those home runs with the launch angle, you're going to score a lot of runs. Those first 5 runs at least were on the 2 home runs. So it was great.
Yeah, man, it was. So if we have any Atlanta fans out there, let us know, because I think the whole country was Atlanta fans, right? Except if you're in the southeastern part of Texas,
right,
and maybe a couple other parts of Texas. But it seems like I think a lot of people probably would have been rooting for you. I mean, you couldn't have had Boston in there, right? You would have had the 2 teams that were caught for that scandal or whatever, kind of cheating.
Yeah.
Whatnot. So that would have been a crazy World Series in my opinion. So glad that Atlanta, pulled it off. And yeah, but here it is, dude. I mean, you want to hear them, right? This is the Comic Bookies podcast. You're not too early odds for the 2022 World Series champion.
Let me guess,
man.
the Los Angeles Dodgers are number 1.
Hey, the sponsor of our podcast, man, I'd say is pretty happy to hear that, even though he'd be happier if he was raising the trophy last night. But the Los Angeles Dodgers here, Michael, 5-1 to be your winner of next year's World Series. The Atlanta Braves there again, also as well, tied with the Houston Astros at 10-1. Already double digits. The White Sox 12-1. Mike, sorry to tell you, but after losing our manager, Mr. Bob Melvin, to San Diego, we are now sitting at 40-1 with no head coach, with no skipper. But
what about the San Diego Padres? Like, Bob Melvin is freaking loving it right now. He's got the players, he's got the money. Oh, dude, he's a kid in a candy store right now down there in San Diego.
You know his contract? Huh? You know how much money he got? I didn't come across
but it was
that.
a 3 or 4 year deal, right? I believe that's what the headline said.
I think so.
Yeah. Joe, what's up, Comic Bookies? What's up, Joe? Thank you so much for tuning in.
He's got the weather. He's got the weather also.
Oh, I know. I mean, up here is fine. It's just kind of cold and windy at night in San Francisco and Oakland, but yeah, it's fine. And it's another pitcher's park too, even more of a pitcher's park than Oakland. So yeah, congrats again to the Braves. What about Buster Posey, man? I mean, our one Giants fan is not here today, but after the sour taste in their mouth from losing to the Dodgers in the playoffs, then their golden child from the last 15 seasons, 3-time World Series champ, MVP, comeback player of the year. I'm sure he won a bunch of Gold Gloves, but Buster Posey says he's probably going to retire tomorrow. So by the time this episode gets out and people are listening to it, he's going to have been retired. I mean,
and
what a hell of a run.
What are your thoughts? I mean, I've talked, I don't know. I talked to Alex at the shop today, and one of the customers that was there, one of his regulars, they kind of gave me the impression that he still could have kept going. And then the same thing with my wife when I got home, saw it on the news, and she said, I told her, Posey's retiring, and she said, what? Already? I'm like, why is everyone like already? I mean, the dude's been playing for 12 years. He's got 3 titles, 4 kids.
But how many of those seasons were like where he went another month of being on his knees, kneeling down? It takes a toll on your body, and of course he had the injury as well, So
yeah,
it takes a toll.
I mean, MVP.
He definitely has the accolades. He has the rings. He's probably, if you want to talk about catchers, he's probably for sure Hall of Famer, I'd say. With the one MVP, and he would only need like 1 or 2 World Series, but 3, yeah, I'd say so. He's close. I don't know about the last couple years when he kind of took a downturn. Then this year he was up, but I don't know if he's a career 300 hitter. Probably close to it, and for being a catcher and for being in this era of baseball, especially the last 5 to 10 years, that's pretty damn good. That's saying.
Wait, you're debating? Are you saying if he's a Hall of Famer?
No, I'm not debating that. He probably is.
Oh.
But I'm just listing all of the accolades. I mean, I think he's close to a 300 hitter, 280, 285 at least. So, yeah. So, there you have it.
But he'll be in Cooperstown.
Yeah, I think so.
Well deserved as well.
Yeah, I
mean,
think so.
You win Rookie of the Year and the championship your first season.
That's right.
Guy's pretty good, dude. Guy can swing him. I think he won a batting title as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably the year that he
batting
won.
Title,
probably the year
MVP.
that he won MVP.
Oh God, he's first ballot.
Yeah, probably
first ballot.
Moving on from baseball to the pitch, Champions League. Cristiano Ronaldo, real quick, scores 2 goals in the tie for Manchester United against Atalanta. And your Liverpool Reds actually advanced to the round of 16, and they beat who? I'm sorry, I didn't see who they played today, Mark.
ATM, Atletico Madrid,
Cool.
2-0.
Are they just automatically in the next round, or did they automatically win that group?
I believe so. They got 12 points. Them, Juventus, and I believe Bayern Munich as well. They all have 12 points. I think there's 4 teams that have already automatically advanced with those 12 points that they got, 4 wins. But yeah, Sadio Mane and Diogo Jota with the big 2 goals in this. I'm very, very excited. Although, once again, Man City, those guys in the desert want to make them favorites. I don't know what it is. Maybe they just think that it's going to be their year, but every year they seem to be the favorites. I don't understand it, but I guess odds makers think they know more than I do on these games. But man, they almost had it last year, but it went to Chelsea, right? So Chelsea, the victor, loved it because we got the American our own Cristiano Pulisic on Chelsea. So not that I love him as much on the EPL, but hey, I'll take him over City to win Mr. Big Ol' Ears over there. But yeah, Manchester. How did it go with Manchester, man? Your team?
I wasn't really watching. I was actually home because one of my days off. But lucky. I know, right? I had it on in the background, and then I was doing some, completing the honeydew list as you will, doing some stuff outside and then doing some stuff inside, and then I just kept seeing that they had scored, but then they gave up a goal like in the 71st minute, and I was like, son of a bitch, dude! Like again? That's all I thought it was, again. And then all of a sudden I see some substitutions and everything, and then I didn't actually see the goal from Ronaldo. I had to go back and look. But then all of a sudden it was like, 90th plus. I was like, 2-2. I was like, oh, no way. He did it again. No way. And so I immediately had to go turn it to the TV, rewind it, and watch. I was like, oh, no. Nice goal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That was yesterday.
Yeah, that was
I
yesterday.
forgot.
So,
Yeah, you.
um,
That's why they got him, man.
I know to make plays like that. But yeah, so there's some UCL matchups to the track. Now, I know I kind of want to do college next after NASCAR because it's kind of coinciding with the whole football sport. So let's do NASCAR now. It's a huge week. I would have loved to have our friend of the show, Michael Marutz, over the next few weeks, but hopefully he can give us like a postseason episode. He can jump on and kind of preview next season's race in Daytona come February. But I forgot what the name of it is. I should have looked it up. I'm freaking sorry, but it's in Phoenix. It is the champion.
Actually, since you bring that up, there is no name. Phoenix is NASCAR actually owns that track, so Phoenix is owned by NASCAR. And NASCAR decided to not, sell its sponsorship for that race, so they can just call it whatever the NASCAR
Championship.
The championship race or whatever the hell it's going to be called. But yes, Mike, that's why you didn't have to look it up this week because there is none.
I knew. Yeah, I knew. Like somewhere in the back of my head, I knew. Those neurons and electrons were pumping. But sure enough, we have only two. We have two teams vying for a championship. We have Chase Elliott, the number 9, Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, and the number 5 Hendricks.com car of Kyle Larson.
Actually, now that my guy is definitely had no chance at winning a championship.
So it's
I already next favorite driver in this sport is, but
yeah.
Let's see, man.
But then Martin Truex Jr.
I'm actually scared. Dude.
I know.
Scared.
I've been thinking about it the last couple weeks as well, kind of in the back of my head, but trying not to think about it because I don't want to put any mojo out there. But you already did, so thanks. Martin Truex Jr., the 19 and the 11 FedEx of Denny Hamlin are the final four drivers of the NASCAR Championship. Again, if no one knows the rules, it's not like 4 drivers are just driving by themselves. It's a full field of 40, 41 cars or whatever. It doesn't even have to be one of those 4 to win the race. It's whoever finishes ahead of the other 3. That's who wins the championship. I don't know if there's ever been a year where this is when they've had these rules and someone doesn't win. Has there ever been someone like, oh, so-and-so wins and he finishes 3rd place in this race and then the other 3 finish in like 5th, 8th, and 14th? Has someone always at least won the race?
I feel like yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's always.
I mean, whatever you always complain about, everyone, all the other 36 drivers just move the hell out of the way and let it be a 1, 2, 3, 4 show. So I would assume that that's what would be the case. So I'm excited.
I wish it wasn't, but that's what it is. But I mean, you can imagine. You saw what Denny Hamlin did to Alex Bowman, after he got spun in Martinsville.
Man, he was
so you can
pissed.
just imagine if something happens like that when you're like literally about to win a championship and you're not even in it. So it's kind of just really a respect thing because trust me, if next year that driver that wasn't in it and sends another car because they're racing him too hard trying to get that win, I guarantee you if they're in the championship that next year, man, it's going to be ugly for them. They were going to wish that they didn't even get into it. So,
but just imagine if Hamlin was, if he was in a must win, just like, Logano and Keselowski. Like what if Hamlin was in that position where he had to win the race to propel himself into the championship, and then that happens, he reacted and he was already into the championship. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no way that Hamlin
wasn't. He had to win. He had to finish 26th or better when that spin happened.
Okay, yeah. So I guess if he would have actually crashed and then DNF'd, I guess, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's not the championship race, though.
No. So we'll see. Like you even said, like who are the 4 drivers that you're looking to see? Like as far as like helping their teammates or just causing some shit for the other 3, or at least 2.
It's gonna have. The Hendrick cars have just been too strong lately, so I don't see how the other 2 cars aren't going to help a Hendrick car get a championship. And, that's the reason why I'm kind of scared. I mean, I feel like Chase has a really good shot of winning back-to-back championships, man, just because the team he's racing for, he's good at that track, maybe a little bit better than Larson, but then again, Larson's just been a monster. It's just so hard to handicap it. How Hamlin's going to be so hungry at a track that he's also very good at. but he's not in that Hendrick equipment. Dude, it's gonna be wild. Truex. What if Truex get? We're thinking we're counting Truex out, man.
I
But
know, isn't he he's a 1 or 2 time champion?
I think it's gonna be a pretty damn good, race, dude.
I mean,
I'm gonna be too.
last year was good too. You were complaining the whole time how, Chase went to the back of the pack with a failed inspection. You're like, it's already over. But at some point in the race, all 4 guys were like humping, dude. They were leading laps. They were looking like they were going to win the damn race in the championship. All 4 of them at one point. Logano, I think it was Keselowski, Hamlin, and Chase. I think those were the final 4 last year.
I think so. Yes,
Dude.
Logano was looking like he was gonna win it too.
And then all of a sudden, Keselowski, he's in 4th the whole day. And all of a sudden, somewhere like in the 2nd or beginning of the 3rd stage, he looks like the one who's going to win the damn thing. So it's gonna be a fun race for sure. Definitely gonna be fun. I always loved the race at Phoenix. I never watched a race obviously at Phoenix before they reconstructed it. But yeah, that's that dog leg where they just cut across. It's so cool.
Yeah, that
so
is
cool.
pretty cool.
On freaking restarts where half the guys are like, "Frr," I'm like, what the hell is he doing? The first time I ever saw it, like, what the hell is this?
It gives you so many options. Kyle Larson about 2-1 favorite.
Whoa,
Chase
2-1.
3.5 to 1. Hamlin 4-1. Truex. I mean,
Oh, of course,
you
they're
can put
so
them,
close.
you can put them all under a blanket. See, and Vegas knows because the next closest driver is Byron at 14-1.
That's
so
true.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
they're
know
not-
that no
they're
one
not
else is
stupid.
going to win this race besides those 4 drivers. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, well,
Chase Elliott at a 4-1, man. Oof.
okay. So
I hate-
Sean's gonna
he's like-
take. So Sean's gonna
like
take
he-
Chase Elliott. I just know it. I'm taking Kyle Larson. You're the tiebreaker. You're betting with your hard-earned money. You're going to Vegas. You're going to the book. You're going to that book outside. You're chilling at the pool, getting a few Jack and Cokes in you, smoking a cigar. You're at the freaking book. Who are you putting your money on to win this race? Before we move on to football.
I mean, am I looking for a value or just
Well, yeah, just everything. Like you're trying to win your money back. Like you're trying to win money. So value, of course, but like you're also trying to win too. Like who's going to win the race?
I'd probably go with Hamlin, dude.
No way, really?
Either Hamlin or Elliott, but Hamlin, dude, I don't know, dude. This guy has tried to win a championship so many times. This dude is gonna be so hungry on Sunday. So he's gonna be eating at Black Bear Diner, and he's gonna have the Sunday brunch, and he's gonna have the buffet for lunch, and then he's probably gonna go to like Black Angus or something for dinner, dude.
I tell you what, though, I'm not a huge fan of Denny Hamlin or any driver for that matter of Joe Gibbs, but that man pulled off a Post Malone costume for Halloween. That was funny. That shit was funny.
So yeah, we'll see, dude.
All right, cool. So everyone check out the championship race. This is going to be not our final episode talking about NASCAR, but we'll talk about obviously the championship race next week. But then you won't see it until, beginning of February when we're getting ready for the Daytona 500, unless some obvious big news drops. So from the track to the football field, let's get into a little bit of college. I know we haven't talked about it in like over a month. With just the time constraints, we want to get this to you guys in about an hour and a half, and just talking about too many damn sports. Let's get into
we're kind of flying today too.
That's true. So we got the college football. The first college football playoff rankings have come out, and you have number 1 Georgia, of course, an SEC team sits up at the top, and then you have, Michigan State's there, Oregon's still there. What do you think, man? What do you think about these top 4 teams? And then, of course, the 2 that are out. So Alabama's up there at number 2, and then Michigan State's 3. See, that's how much college football I watch, because I'm getting home at 6:30 in the morning on Friday, watching zero football because I'm sleeping, and then getting ready to go to work again on Saturday. I haven't sat down and watched one full college football game the whole season. It kind of sucks, but whatever. So I'll let you two talk about it since you guys have conventional weekends. Alabama number 2. Michigan State 3, and Oregon still sits, even though a bad loss to Stanford, they sit at number 4 with Ohio State and undefeated Cincinnati on the outside looking in. How do you think that? Do you agree with those 4, and how do you see it playing out the rest of the season?
Jeez, do I agree with those 4? I mean, I don't know if I completely agree, but do I completely disagree? I'd say probably not. Oregon at 4. Yeah, they have one loss. Mike, say it like you always like to say it. It's who's gonna cannibalize them this time from the Pac-12, right? But Georgia definitely deserves to be number one. I think they're the best team. Obviously, that defense is nasty. Bama, yes. Just Michigan State, I think they deserve it. Iowa was obviously the fake number 3 when they got there earlier a couple weeks ago, eventually losing to Purdue, I believe it was. But
yeah, you still have some Big Ten teams up there because there you have Ohio State outside, and then Michigan is number 7. So even though Iowa's out, Big Ten's showing out this year. And, and Penn State's not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Michigan, I think that's going to be a good game when they have to play Ohio State because they haven't beat Ohio State in how long? Ever since Harbaugh's been there. Harbaugh hasn't beat them, so
no, they have Indiana, who's 0-5 in the Big Ten this week, so that's probably a good lock. I don't know about covering, but number 4 Oregon is visiting their upstate in Washington. They're traveling to the Pacific Northwest up to the Washington to face the Huskies. Number 2 Alabama is at home against LSU. Oh, LSU, man, Joe Burrow leaves and poo-poo. Poo-poo. Notre Dame at home, number 10 against Navy. Solid 2-6 Navy team because Notre Dame plays a hell of a schedule every year. Love it. Cincinnati's at home against Tulsa. They're 2-2 in the American Conference.
I love Cincinnati at 6, though. This is why I say they have to keep on expand, or they have to not to keep on expanding, but they have to at least expand it. 4 teams ain't shit.
Give it 8.
You got to go to 8.
You got to go to
8. Aren't they talking about like 12 or something? But
I don't know about 12, but
I like the parity in this college season. I love seeing Fresno State, San Diego State, 2 teams right there out of San Jose State's league, the Mountain West. So that's pretty cool to see.
Like we've always said, like we think 8's fine, right? The Power 5 conferences, the automatic winner gets automatic bid, and then you have 3 wild cards. I think that's fine.
And that would be great. And that would be crazy with Georgia and Alabama, right? Because what Todd Furman on Twitter, he put out, it would be crazy if Alabama would beat if Alabama would beat Auburn, and then I forgot what it was, and then I forgot what it was, but it would basically came out to be that Alabama they both would have had 1 loss, Alabama and Georgia, and I think that Alabama beats Alabama. Oh, that's what it was. Alabama beats Auburn, and then Georgia beats Auburn. I forgot. Damn it, I forgot. But it was a good one because it was like, dude, it was crazy because I'm like, damn, who would they put? Who would they like make? But I forgot what it was. If I can find it, I'll come back to it.
But then it's interesting. You have number 9 Wake Forest. They're undefeated as well.
Wake Forest is having the best year they've had ever in program history.
I know. They're 8-0, 5-0 in the ACC. They're looking freaking good too, man. I mean, even look at Minnesota. 2 losses, only 1 loss in the Big Ten. They're looking just fine right now. Michigan State better watch out. They're playing Purdue. They played Heartbreakers a week or 2 ago, so better watch out for that. Oklahoma State's 4-1 in the Big 12, visiting West Virginia. A couple Big 12 teams are sitting in the top 12. It's not over, for sure.
The AP poll is different, though. The AP got Cincinnati at 2, Alabama at 3, Oklahoma at 4.
That one doesn't matter. As soon as what's it called? The FCS the BCS. Remember that? Remember the whole BCS was computerized?
Oh my God!
Well, and then the Bowl Cup. But then at the end of the season, after the first year, after they actually voted, and of course Ohio State fans are bitching and moaning about how they didn't get in with 1 or 2 losses. Then everyone's complaining about the human voter. Go back to the computer. Whenever someone doesn't get their way, of course the current way is not the right way. So go back to what it was, or figure out a whole third new way. So Some good matchups this weekend.
Oklahoma 9-0, sitting at 8.
Yeah, some good matchups that I will not be watching this weekend, so make sure to tune in, fans, and Mark and Sean, so we can talk about it next week. I'll watch some highlights if I can, for sure. Let's see. What time do I wake up? 12. I can watch Michigan State at 12:30. I can watch Cincinnati at 12:30. I can watch Notre Dame 12:30. I can watch some games that are like in the 12:30 because I'm up around that time. I can put a couple games on for sure. So, moving on.
Got to.
Yeah. So moving on from college to the NFL. So plenty of things to talk about the actual sport of football. But let's first talk about the two unfortunate stories. One way more unfortunate than the other one. Henry Ruggs III. We have to talk about it, obviously, because it's the number one news, story in the NFL, and it also hits close to home because it's our Raiders. Just what a tumultuous year it's been so far, man. The whole thing that went down with John Gruden, he gets fired, and then Henry Ruggs III, unfortunately, just a young, dumb kid. He's drinking, he's over double the limit. He puts himself in danger, his girlfriend or whoever that was, the female companion in the passenger seat. And then he hits a Toyota 4Runner, RAV4 or whatever in the back of the car, like 126, 127 miles an hour, engulfing the car.
How do they know that? I want to know like how they find that out exactly.
When there's a science behind it, like the tread on the tires, like when you brake, like the distance between this and like they can somehow figure it out. Some mathematical equation based off of the skid marks, you can tell how fast they were going.
Not those other skid marks.
No.
The one that Biden's been having lately. So.
Save the jokes for after this story. Unfortunately, the gal was killed in the car, and now Henry Ruggs is now booked, and he's facing a maximum of 20 years, I believe, Nevada state law, vehicular manslaughter. But just very, very unfortunate, just a waste of talent, an idiotic thing to do. All these teams have these driver services. Like you don't actually have to like jump on your phone and get an Uber. Like who out, like all these, you wondering all these things. Like who was he with? Was he with like an entourage or some of his friends or other players? Like no one noticed that he was
with
like
a chick,
but no one noticed that he was only with her. No one noticed that he was that inebriated and let him get into a $100,000 car.
Of course, no one noticed. Maybe he was probably just on a date, bro. He's on a date with a chick. Whatever he was gonna do.
Who gets over double the limit on a date?
Bro, he's 22.
Well, now I know you're not making excuses because it sounds like you are, but I mean, it's.
But dude, with 22, you make horrible decisions, bro. I went to Vegas when I was not 22. I didn't even go to Vegas I think I went when I was like 24, 20. Yeah, like no, maybe 20, 22, 23. But man, young kid, all that money. But dude, what a sad, sad story. First of all, I'd like to say our thoughts and prayers as real Raider fans here that Mike and I are to the family of the 23-year-old female driver of that Toyota RAV4, unfortunately losing her life, the thing engulfed in flames. I think maybe some witnesses might have tried to help, but they said it was like too much or something I might have heard. But man, it's wild. It's wild to see that, Ruggs is even alive. I don't even know how him and the girl are alive because
she's in critical condition, so she's still not good.
Jeez, a car going 126 miles an hour. I mean, the car crashed and that's wild.
He was going over 150, but the impact was at 126 or 7.
What do you mean? Have you even gone 127 in a car before?
No, I've gone about 105.
Exactly.
And I was on like Highway 5, and it didn't really feel like anything. But when you're on the small little streets of Las Vegas, going 150, Jesus Christ!
You also weren't in a Corvette, a 2021 Corvette.
Yeah.
True.
So,
but it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate to all parties involved. Just you see him right there in the courthouse or with the thing around his neck. It's just, dude, imagine what he's going through in his life. Just in a blink of an eye, your whole life can change off one bad decision. And this is why I always say, and this is why I don't, completely condone any type of, extracurricular activities outside of work. But, why is why is alcohol legal and, you know, a little bit of marijuana is not? It's, you know, in my opinion, it's completely two different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they call it liquid balls for a reason. There's all these, you know, jokes and sayings about, you know, alcohol and whatnot, but dude, it's true. It's just the things that alcohol can make people do,
Yeah.
especially at younger stages of their life when they're still growing up, and money and fame and fortune, and unfortunate in these circumstances. But geez, God bless everybody involved, especially, you know, the family of the deceased female. It sucks, dude, and it really hits home. Like you said, Mike, this is the year that he was really starting to shine, catching deep balls down from, you know, Carr. And just, you know, you even got a feel for Carr. It gets as deep as the players. It gets as deep as, you know, Carr loses his coach. All these teams, you know, they lose their coach, the damn, you know, their star receiver, you know, all within 3 weeks and whatnot. It's just horrible, tragic events. No one ever wants to see this happen, but unfortunate. It's the sad truth when people made bad decisions, dude. So everybody out there, remember, call an Uber. It's not worth it. Call a Lyft. They'll pick you up, and it's just much easier, especially when you're in a town. Like I said, he was probably on a date. You don't want to really be on a Uber on a date and whatnot. And I get it, but dude, you got to be smarter than that. Not to mention the loaded gun that was found in the car. It's like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, geez, how do you expect to not get? How could you even get out of it? It's just a loaded gun, double the limit, DUI, manslaughter. Man, it's just like I said, it's just unfortunate. I hate to see it happen, but
Dude's life's over.
you know, our condolences to everybody, dude. It's just they're saying 2 to 20 years for this dude. Man, it's just it's a sad sad state of events. But
So
condolences, and sucks.
He's already been released too by the Raiders as of today. You know, that's a you know, a given, you know, within 24 hours of that stuff happening. So we'll see how the Raiders you know, internally kind of figure it out and see if they take it to the field when they visit New York today, playing the Giants. Or I mean, on Sunday playing the Giants. So we'll see. In other news, right before we get to the Super Contest, Aaron Rodgers tests positive for the coronavirus, later discovering that he is not vaccinated, which is kind of funny because they kept playing the, you know, the news conference from, I think, August, you know, when he was asked, like, oh, like, what do you think about players who aren't vaccinated? Like, are you vaccinated? You know, like, just can you tell us if you are, and what do you think? You know, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, what did he say? He didn't say vaccinated. He says like inoculated, or he says like, you know, like another word for like maybe like if you just took a flu shot or whatever. So like he said a word, but it wasn't vaccinated. So everyone's like, oh, he's vaccinated like for the coronavirus. But then when he catches it, now they say he's not vaccinated for coronavirus. So now they're like, you know, trying to get on him for like not being vaccinated and everything, which whatever. That's not something you have to like lie about, you know? But now he's not playing against the Chiefs this week, so that kind of messes with the line and messes with any kind of pick that we may make, you know?
Messes with us. Then, you know, like we said, or like you know, another thing, like the Raiders are in first place right now, and then Ruggs goes and does this. I mean, you celebrating too early, Ruggs. Just, man, it just sucks, dude.
And the Packers have won 7 straight.
Yeah,
my Super Bowl team, bro.
Yes, that's right. And then now a damn team that's going to want to try to come back in the AFC West going to have to play a damn Packers team without their star quarterback. So
yeah,
it's I can see KC getting the win there. Who's their replacement, or who's the backup? The one that
the kid from
that Rodgers got all butthurt over that they drafted.
Yeah, the kid from UCLA, right? Love or whatever his name.
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Was he from UCLA? You sure? I don't think he's from UCLA.
I think so.
You know who is from UCLA, though? That boy Levine, the Bulls. They balling right now, man. You see him?
Yeah.
The Bulls.
Yeah, Jordan Love or whatever. I think so. It has to be. Let me just check.
Okay.
Let me just check real quick. I believe so. But let's get into the contest. Like while I'm looking that up right now, Mark, me and you tie. We both go 2-2 last week. Sean took the fat goose egg of 0-4. So Mark,
He's an over.
he's an 0 man. Mark, you didn't gain anything, but 14, 13, and 1. Sean with the 0-4 drops to 10, 17, and 1. And I'm only one loss behind Sean at 8, 18, and 2. So what say you? Since you're higher in the standings and since we tied, you get the first pick, I get the second pick, and then we also get and then Sean gets the third pick. So go ahead and tell us your first pick this week.
My first pick. So coming in with my first pick.
Sorry, a little sidebar there. Utah State was Jordan Love. Sorry, not UCLA.
Oh yeah, Utah State. I had a feeling. I'm like, dude, UCLA.
Maybe I was
remember.
thinking of what's his name from Arizona, and then after a year he gets dumped for Kyler Murray. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, brother. Let's go with
Week 9. Here we go. Raiders are back in action. No more bye week. Let's go.
the lines. Yeah, that's right. Let's go. The line's a little fishy. I don't know how much I like it, but I think that they're going to get back on the track. Kind of like this team. They've been pretty good this year. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals -2.5 over the Browns.
You know what? I do like that pick because you were dogging me last week, bro. You were freaking. You know what? I'm gonna say something. You were dogging me because you're like, oh, this guy needs to learn how to bet football or the NFL, leaving like 38.5 points out there. Dude, I won 2 out of the 3. I was going to say, screw it. I'm taking a whole different approach to my picks this week. And you know what? All these teams are going to cover. And Cincinnati was the only team that I didn't cover.
Well, you got a couple, I mean, pretty decent high lines this week. So I wonder if you're going to take them, man.
Oh, you're wondering.
You're going to be able to pick next. So we're going to find that out pretty soon. But nah, man, I like Cincinnati. I think the Browns are having kind of their own issues right now as well. Mm-hmm. Right, with OBJ and whatever's going on with him because he's not getting the ball enough, right? Is he even playing this week?
Who?
OBJ.
I have no you know what? I don't know. Let's see. You know what? I was seeing news about him and whatever. I don't know.
Why wouldn't he play? Because he's butthurt? I mean, no, I think he's still going to play, but I haven't seen anything. I just saw some news on him, but I'll take the Bengals, man. -2.5.
Yeah, it says he's questionable. It says Beckham with a shoulder/personal matter, who was told by the Browns not to attend Wednesday's practice, might have played his final game with the team, according to ESPN's Jake Trotter.
Ooh.
So we'll see. We'll see about that. I'm not sure. Obviously, that's not, swaying your decision. So my first pick, let's see. Who do I like this week? Who do I like? You know who I like? You know who I like to get back on track? I know they're on the road, and usually these West Coast teams don't fare too well on the East Coast, and this team is riding high with a huge, huge win, scoring 31 points and giving up less than 10. I'm going to take Sean. Sean always picks this team, but I'm going to go ahead and steal it. I'm taking the Chargers in Philadelphia, -1.5 this week.
I got 2.
I usually go on ESPN. This is how I do it. So I got Chargers -1.5 currently right now. So
go Chargers, yeah. Go.
So hopefully, I always say, or I got it from my dad, people or teams that you hate, like in sports wise, will never help you out. So we'll see if the Chargers actually help me out this week. Sean's first pick via proxy, via his text messages. Let me see. His first pick is Miami -. So everyone's just going to pick against the Texans every week because that's one of the Rams were like.
Is that your new strategy?
Right. So he's taking Miami at home against the Houston Texans -6.5. That line kind of scares me because it's only -6.5. I know Dolphins aren't a very good team, but the Texans suck. So let's go Miami. -6.5. Mark, to you for your second pick, bro.
All right, guys. For my second pick, man, I hate dropping so much wood. I'm gonna have to probably go
Ooh.
You know what, man? I hate to do this. I really hate to do it, but it's just too much emotion right now, dude. It's too much emotion. And, I think that East Coast travel that Mike always talks about,
Yeah.
also to,
You gonna take my pick?
upstate NY,
Taking
NY.
my pick.
So I'm gonna have to go with the Giants this
Yeah.
week, dude. +3, man. Taking your pick, man.
The only
NY.
reason why this week I may, obviously Henry Ruggs the third shouldn't sway the line any, but like just the emotion and like how the Raiders and how these West Coast teams usually perform on the East Coast, I would think that the line would have moved a little bit, but the Raiders have stayed -3 since Monday. So it's kind of fishy to me how the line, like all this stuff happening didn't move at all, even just to like 2.5 or 2. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to take the Raiders this week, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders came and got an emotional win and then won by, a touchdown or 10 points. Because at the end of the day, Giants are still not a very good team. So, and they play especially bad at home. They're 1-3 at home this year. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm going to stay in the AFC West. I'm also going to just take this because it's yes, they have a very good they're a very good defensive team and a very good team on the road. They're 4-1 away from Green Bay, but just Aaron Rodgers not playing, and this is his first career start. I have to go with Kansas City. Kansas City's still a playoff team, and they're at home and loud, rowdy. The 7.5 scares me. I would hate to, Kansas City wins by 7 and I lose this bet, but I'm going to stay in the AFC West, and I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs -7.5 at home against a Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers.
What has Sean got Miami at again?
-6.5 as far as what I'm seeing on ESPN.
Miami? He's got them at minus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, against the Texans, that's right.
Yeah. Suck. Okay, Sean's next pick. Here we go. Where are you? And where the hell are you? He's taking... Oh, there you are. We're going down to the NFC South for Sean. We're going to the dirty South. NOLA. He's taking the New Orleans Saints -6 at home against the Falcons. That's a scary game, dude.
Who's starting for them?
Well, exactly. Because New Orleans had also been riding high with 2 great wins. The Falcons coming in. It's a division game. I might stay away from that one, but the Falcons, I don't know.
I think Sean got too hyped seeing his boy Jamie saying, "This is dough, you see it?"
I know, right? It's the dub. We're going to eat it. And you're out for the year. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mark, you got the third pick, bro.
Dude, tell me he's not the most interesting player in the whole NFL, dude. Isn't he the only player ever that's in the 30-30 club? 30 for 30?
Or 40-40 or what? No, that's not 40-40.
He threw 30 picks and 30 interceptions in one season. No, I mean, he threw 30 picks and then he threw 30 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Dude, the dude just, you don't know what you're going to get with him, dude. And then he gets a busted ACL. I hate to see him go, dude. He was all hyped for this season, playing good, decent, just, man, there he goes. Jameis, he's just out of there. So I think they're going to probably start, what's his name, right? The BYU kid, he plays like he always comes in and does wildcat crap for him.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Shoot.
Starts with a T.
No, I think Taysom Hill. Yeah.
Taysom Hill. Yeah.
But maybe Trevor Siemian would get some snaps. Maybe I don't know, like just in a conventional quarterback scheme, or whatever they would run, because they're going to have to run some kind of scheme, some weird scheme with Taysom Hill there.
Speaking of the Saints, real quick, you know who's been there forever, running their defense?
Wasn't Greg Williams always there, or he was there for a long time doing like the
DA, the district attorney, Dennis Allen, man.
Oh, really?
Dude, our once Raiders head coach, man.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I think ever since he left the Raiders, he got picked up as Saints head coach. And he's been with them, I think, the whole time. I mean, not head coach, defensive coach. And he's been with them, the whole time, I think, ever since the Raiders let him go. So
I keep thinking of Lane
and
Kiffin, but I was like, didn't he go to? I keep thinking of him, but he went to Alabama and then he jumped around. That was Lane.
Kiffin's like the neighborhood bicycle, man. Everybody gets a ride, dude. When
Tennessee and
Kiffin,
yeah,
that dude been on every day. Rocky Top,
yeah,
man, USC,
Ole Miss
Raiders,
now.
yeah, FAU
No,
or
oh
whatever it
yeah, you're
is.
right. Okay, your third
That
pick,
guy
sir. We're halfway done.
halfway done. Halfway done. My third pick is gonna have to be, man. You know what? Didn't Baltimore have a bye last week? I believe,
Yeah, it
right?
was only the Raiders and Ravens last week because I noticed there was what's it called? There was 15 games and not just like 12, 13, or 14. So there's only two teams on the bye last week: the Ravens and Raiders.
I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens -6.
Okay, Ravens -6. What do I have? Because we're going based off this. I see -6 at home against Minnesota. Why do you like that one, sir?
I
Just
just
off the
don't,
bye and everything.
huh?
Why do you like that one? Just off the bye.
Yeah, I don't trust Minnesota, man. They lost
Yeah, they don't
to.
score
Did
any
you see?
points
I mean,
too.
did you see? They gave up the most points or whatever yardage to that rookie that never started. That came in for
Oh
on the
yeah,
road in Minnesota. Minnesota is trash. I'm sorry,
yeah.
man. You can tell I had a little bit of money on them. I had a 3-team parlay riding on those freaking man. But I just don't like it, dude. I -6. I'm getting it under a touchdown. I don't really even like laying 6 in the NFL, but I'm gonna have to do it. I think they come off a bye and they get kind of prepared. Minnesota just not trending well. I don't like what I'm seeing from them, so I'll take my chances with Baltimore -6, Mike.
Okay. I have already written down my pick because I was hoping you wouldn't take it, and you did not. But I hope it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass because you said that this team has covered every single game this year, and they're at home, which they're 3-0 at home this year, 6-1 overall. And this team coming in is 4-4, but the four teams they've played are absolute dog shit. So I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys at home against Denver to cover 10 points, double digit. I know. But hell, I had some success last week with the double-digit, spreads. So
No more Von Miller.
no more, yeah, exactly, no more Von Miller. Who knows what they're going to do with that? But of course, now that we all throw it out there, that's the big stat that they've covered every game this year. No Von Miller. What's Denver going to do? They're going to come in and lose by a field goal. Just my luck. But you know what? Let's ride it high. Let's ride it. Dallas
There it is.
-10 at home. And Sean's next pick is Kansas City is taken, so he's going to take the LA Rams looks like -7.5 is what we're seeing. Are we seeing this? Yes, minus on Sunday Night Football. Rams at home against the Titans with Von Miller now. Not sure if he's actually going to be playing. Looks like it. LA Rams at home against Tennessee -7.5. Oh yeah, no Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah.
Derrick Henry's out for the
That's
year,
right.
so that's actually probably a pretty decent pick.
Who's their backup?
I tried to pick him up. Obviously, with everything's going on, I'm not trying to blame it on, have excuses, but with, work and, the kids and everything, I have yet to make waiver wire picks in fantasy football. Every Wednesday morning, you put all your picks in, everyone gets a chance, and then whoever has the higher waiver priority, they get that guy. And I never put in those picks. I always forget. And of course, he was already taken. I'm not even sure if he was even taken even beforehand, but let's see, depth chart here for the Tennessee Titans. Their backup running back, who's now their first, Jeremy McNichols.
Who?
I don't know, Jeremy McNichols. Derrick Henry's on injured reserve, and their third string running back, Darrington Evans, also on the injured reserve. So good luck, Jeremy McNichols. Don't get hurt because then they're going to have like A.J. Brown be their running back. So there is Sean's third pick. Mark, fourth and final pick before we take a break and get into comic books.
My fourth and final pick. It's hard to even pick another one, but I think I'm going to have to go. Do I go against you? Do I take the double digits with the ponies? Do I take the double digits with the ponies? The 14.5 with the Jags. Oof, Buffalo's coming off a bye, I think, too. Were they partying in Florida too hard before they go and see Mr.
That's
Kiffin?
what we
Or
think
not
about here on the Common
Kiffin,
Bookies
Urban
podcast.
Meyer. Let's
That
see.
Arizona only -1 looks fishy to me too. Is someone injured from Arizona? Why is it only -1? In
Arizona.
San Francisco, only -1?
Where are you seeing that?
Arizona in San Francisco, like the afternoon, like right before Sunday night on the schedule.
Why is it not on Bovada? It's not on the board
I
here.
mean, well, it says I got a whole. Well, AJ Green's out, but who gives a crap? I see Kyler Murray, Chase Edmonds, DeAndre Hopkins. They all have Q's next to them. Like, are these guys questionable? Like up in the air as far as if they're going to play? It must be that. Because there's no way in hell right now how the season's going so far that Arizona, I don't give a shit if they're going to be in Santa Clara. That spread should be at least 4 or 5, if not more, with how they're playing so far. Arizona just lost for the first time this week, and they're only -1. Something's fishy on that
If
one.
it's -1, I have to take them.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Nah, I'm not going to take them. I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Ooh, Pittsburgh -6.5 Monday night at home against the Bears. They've been playing pretty good, bro. They've been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
They're back up over
I like
500. Just win by a touchdown, and you're good, my friend.
I like the fact that it's Monday night, prime time. I like playing teams, in prime time that have that have history of playing good in prime time, that have more veteran, coaching veteran players.
That's true.
And
They're at home. It might be cold. I mean, even though,
Exactly.
Chicago, they're used to cold anyway, so that doesn't really make a difference. But, okay, I've been doing it for at least 3 or 4 weeks now going against them, but I'm going to go against you. It's just too fishy to me over the last couple of days. I saw when it was like opened up at -3, and all this shit with Ruggs went down. It's still -3. I'm taking the Raiders, man. I'm going for an emotional win. The defense, that doesn't affect the defense at all. They're going to get 2 turnovers against Daniel Jones in that offense. I see the Raiders coming away with a win, so I'm taking Las Vegas -3 this week, staying 3 of my picks in. I'm taking all favorites this week, so I hope to God that works out. But I mean,
Taking all AFC West
right?
favorites. I love it.
The Chargers. Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders to not gain any ground, except only on the Denver Broncos. I'm taking all my picks involve AFC West teams. So there you go. You can tell what I'm a fan of for sure. And then Sean is taking San Francisco +1. He sees what I see. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that's at least one of his wins this week. So there you go. There you go. There you have it. There's our picks for the week. Mark is taking Cincinnati, the Giants, Ravens, and Steelers. Sean with the Dolphins, Saints, Rams, and 49ers. And myself, the Chargers, Chiefs, Cowboys, and the Raiders. So we're going to take a quick break to go to the bathroom, get another drink. But this has been the Comic Bookies Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us so far for episode 131. Stay tuned for the comic books. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back live. Just let you know, Mark, just for the fans, so everyone can hear you.
What?
I went back on the live screen, so just in case you want to say anything that's
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm gonna log in. I know we hit another country last week. I'm gonna log in real quick just so we can announce it over the show. Let's see, the comic bookie passport, Algeria. I think I texted you guys about it, but now I can actually. Oh, come on. There we go.
We're back live?
Yeah. We're live right now. I just, we're not actually, doing the episode, but just a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at the Comic Bookies podcast. I kind of wanted to talk to you, when we do. All right, so October was better numbers than September and August as far as downloads, so hopefully people are getting back to work. And let's see real quick. Let's see. Nigeria, Algeria, another African country. Awesome. Turkey, Indonesia, Philippines. Belgium's still up there, man. Belgium's still downloading us. Even Canada's got some decent numbers. It's good. It doesn't look like anything new besides Algeria that I can announce. That the whole Bahamas right there? It's the whole thing? Yeah. That's all of England. What's this one? Oh, that's part of Italy. Yep, that's all of Indonesia. All right. Hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. And we are going back live in just a second. Cool. Go ahead and sign out of there. All right. And done. Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going back live in... Oh, take no sip. Do a thippy thip. If anyone has any questions as far as news or anything, comic books, or shoot, even sports, again, we'll go back to it for all of you guys viewing right now. Thank you so much for supporting. If you're looking for shorts or other videos on our YouTube page, I apologize. Just trying to get used to the whole new sleep schedule with the new job and everything. So, when we get back in the flow of things, we'll be posting more and more videos. Okay. Go back live in 3, 2, and 1. You are now listening to the smooth sounds of myself, Mike, and Mark, and the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 131. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We are now doing some comic books. Of course, like every week, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Go check them out on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and go follow them on Instagram and Twitter at TI Comics. So, Mark, let's get into some comic books, bro. Let's get into the comic book discussion of the week. Plenty to get into from last week and 2 weeks ago since I wasn't here, but let's go ahead and preview this week's new books. On the DC side, Batman 116, a new story. 2 new stories this week from Tom Taylor and Tom King. We have Dark Knights of Steel #1 and Human Target #1, along with the Swamp Thing #9 and Batman Reptilian #5. That is a wild story, by the way. Let me tell you. That's #5 is going to be a wild issue. Hell yeah. Star Wars #18. So this is the thing I feel, like Marvel. What are you doing? Listen to these. So according to the website that we use, League of Comic Geeks or whatever, based off of their subscribers and how many pulls they get, that's how they list their comic books. So you would figure this is the 5 most popular Marvel books coming out today. Listen to this.
Is that how they list them?
I believe so. That's why Flash, Batman, Detective, Action, they're always the #1. Spider-Man's always #1 or #2, depending on the week. It's all depending on their subscribers who are registered there. How many are they pulling? There's 800 and something pulls for Batman, so they're listed #1. That's why if you look on Sunday and then if you look on Wednesday, it might be a little different, So here we go. Here's Marvel. Star Wars 18, #1 story from Marvel. #2, Star Wars Bounty Hunters 17. X-Men Legends number
Jesus.
8, Amazing Fantasy 4, and Dark Hawk number 3. And you wonder why we don't talk about Marvel stories at all. I just dumped Thor. Like, get your shit together books-wise. Obviously, they don't give two shits because they have Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Eternals. They have What If. They have all this stuff coming out on Disney+. So the comic book side...
That's actually funny that you said that, because I had the conversation with Alex today at the shop, and he basically said that was his exact words. He was like, Marvel doesn't want to make comics, dude. They want to just make movies, shows, and just... He's like,
they have
it's
enough
a burden
IP.
on them.
They have enough existing IP where they can go ahead and just make movies and TV shows of stuff that people haven't seen yet, So I guess F it for them, So continuing on with the books, on the Image side, always giving us at least 6-7 books. Spawn 323, Primordial number 2, The Me You Left in the Dark. Number 4, Radiant Black 9, Silver Coin number 6, and The Good Asian number 6. AWA from the pages of what was it? The Resistance. Another side story from the Resistance. You had Moths, Resistance Uprising, and now you have Knighted. Number 1 comes out today, and over on Boom Studios, Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 31. Mark, let's start the conversation. What do you want? I mean, you and Sean talked about Batman and Flash. If you wanted to revisit it, fine. Or if you just wanted to get into detective, you can go back 2 or 3 weeks on how you thought Joker was, if you can remember what you read. Strange Adventures. I'm just trying to think of like stuff that I would have talked about last week, but I wasn't here. So
you talk about what you want to talk about, bro. I mean, we can go off that.
Yeah, that's fine. First one though, actually, did you get that Batman Imposter? You did, didn't you?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't get it. That was okay.
I got that Batman 89 though.
Yes, I did get that one. That was pretty cool. I did enjoy that one. It's kind of like
pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's his name? I was calling him his character from Star Wars, Lando Calrissian from Star Wars plays Harvey Dent in the Batman 89 movie. He plays Two-Face, but he doesn't become Two-Face in the movie, obviously. He's just Harvey Dent then, So they actually make him into Two-Face in this story. That's pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. It's just I mean,
and then Tim Drake's in it, like Tim Drake's in the movie too. I mean, that's pretty cool.
I read it a while ago, but I just I like how how he gets dumped in the toxin or whatever, and then he gets saved, but I don't know. I just don't remember too much of the Batman 89 movie myself. I haven't watched it like ever since years and years and years. But
this isn't in the movie. This is just like in that universe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because Harvey Dent doesn't get turned into Two-Face in Batman movie. It's all solely based off of the Joker. Like you see Harvey Dent, everybody vote for Harvey Dent or what, I'm saying? Like it doesn't really focus on him. So it's like Batman 89, like it's in that universe of Tim Burton's Batman 89, but it's like a side story. That's what I think is pretty cool. And that's why I'm like, crap. Like after reading issue 3, I'm like, I kind of wish this was a 12-issue maxi. Like this would be a good 12-issue. Like it's only 6. Like maybe they can do a volume 2, but I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Yeah. I kind of enjoy the art too. The art is a little bit different as well. It looks a little bit more old school, like to that era, I guess. I think the way that Bruce is drawn is kind of different.
He looks like Michael Keaton at times. They definitely make him look like Michael Keaton.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Cool.
But
it's cool. But no, this Batman, the Imposter, has a lot of Leslie Tompkins in it. It's young Batman. There's someone who's like impostering Batman, so it's kind of painting him in like a bad way. Let's see, Strange Adventures. I mean, that was like, whoa. So like what you thought happened at the end of issue 10 or 11 or whatever, it did happen. She killed him. And she tells Mr. Terrific, "Hey, I'm gonna go back to Rand, and you're gonna take care of my daughter." Huh? What? And like, why are you telling me this? And finally, at the very end of the damn book, like he doesn't understand. Like you would think that Mr. Terrific would put 2 and 2 together, but he didn't until she finally said, like, "Do you want me to tell you what happened to him?" And then, dude, just a pool of blood. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Tom King always takes us on his year runs of his books, but I thoroughly did enjoy that story. Uh, you know, wouldn't say it's my favorite. I don't know. Do you like Batman Catwoman right now a little bit more than that one?
Let me see. Batman Catwoman's really good. I like what Tom King's doing. It's a lot more.
That's a good answer.
I like what Tom King's doing. Like it's Black Label, so it's like a little more gritty and gory. Like not like dropping an F-bomb or anything like that. But I do like. It's like I get kind of like the chills. Remember when they were in the house with the family, and all of a sudden you see the body parts on the tree? It's freaking creepy. And to see all of this happen during a supposed happy time during the holidays, like I love how the fact that like every issue begins with. I think it's always the Joker, but like he's singing Christmas carols, like it's just like demented, like it's so cool.
That's totally a Tom King thing as well. Also,
going back and forth in time. I mean, I can guess that you've never read a story with Phantasm in it.
No, negative.
And I'm pretty sure you've never seen the movie as well, the animated movie, Into the Phantasm.
No. Oh.
I think it's a Batman the Animated Series, but they made like in that universe, but they made it into a movie. So yeah, but I mean, it's cool. And then they go back and forth in time. Dick Grayson's is the commissioner of the GCPD. Their daughter is now like kind of Batman cat. It's like Batman, Batwoman, whatever you want to call her. And just the drawing at the end when like Joker had like the red in his eye, it looked freaky. It looked like a damn issue of Department of Truth. It was freaky. It was cool.
That Texas Blood was pretty good.
Ooh, yeah. How's that going? I mean, that's been like quite the roller coaster for you.
We're on 11. For some reason, I feel like it's going to be 12. It's kind of feeling like it's going to end. I haven't even looked it up to see. I mean, I'm enjoying this story pretty much. It's just like some kind of like this Texas KKK stuff, worship stuff going on. Wow. Just trying to this issue that just happened. Pretty much, they're trying to like have their whole ritual with like a young African American like teenage girl, and it's just like it's pretty crazy. And then the cop that's like the antagonist of the story pretty much finds her with this other guy, and it's pretty crazy. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of I wouldn't mind if it got to the end in 12, but then again I wouldn't mind if it kept going. But it's just one of those other. It's kind of different, dude. It's a different story. It's a little bit slow if you like that. It was a lot of just talking back and forth with these damn like KKK members in this one. Chris Condon, Jacob Phillips, and that Texas Blood Image Comics. It's getting there. I mean, I'd obviously wait for paperback or the trade paperback if you want to pick it up at this point. But I've heard great reviews on this one from other people I follow on Twitter, comic podcasts at that. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's a great story. It was on pause for a while. I don't remember why or even know why, but it came back stronger than before it had that hiatus. Nice. So pretty good story, man. I enjoyed it. Probably a little bit better than Moon Knight.
Oh, nice. Levin Life Lisa, thank you so much for jumping in the chat. She has a question. What's your question, Levin Life Lisa? We would love to answer it. She's saying she has a question. Yeah, answer your question and we'll be happy to answer it. Whether it's sports or whether it's comic books, please ask it. Mark, moving on. So what'd you think about The Flash? It was a weird story. It was like, oh man, is this going to be like a cheesy, like, oh, this staff is, it's like the staff just making people all pissed off and stuff. Like, really? The staff is making people moody and they want to fight. What the hell?
Wait, which one?
The Flash. When that staff was there, that Mr. Terrific then tried to kill Flash. I was like, he's just turning people against it. But then at the end of the story, it's like, oh shoot, there's Eclipso, and then and
Sean and I discussed it. They had
and then Dr. Fate comes in at the end, and then the thing that got me was like the very last page. Next issue, the craziest, most meta and wild issue of the Flash ever published. So obviously that's probably not going to happen. But I mean, what the hell, maybe.
Yeah. Dude, I actually loved. I think I discussed it last week. I loved Terrific in that book. Michael Holt, right?
Yeah, Mr. Terrific's a dope character.
You've
seen him a lot lately.
Cool with the way that he turned, and then he had the Flash pretty he pretty shook, right? With he's like, oh, trying to go back to work. He's like, but I ain't gotta be here. That's what he said. Now he turns on him, but that was a pretty good issue, man. We'll see going forward. The Flash is kind of winning me back again. It was kind of losing me there for a little bit, but I'm kind of enjoying it a little bit more.
Nice.
Going forward. So looking forward to the next one. Will probably be next week. You know how that goes.
Yeah, right. So Love and Life Lisa has a question. It's totally unrelated to comic books and sports. Love and Life Lisa asks, do bald guys actually get more ladies? Well, Lisa.
You gotta ask. That's a question for you.
I know, right? So obviously Mark's not bald. But I mean, I'm married, so I'm not going to, dig deep into my past of, but let me just say that that there's not a huge Rolodex. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have to have the goatee though? If you're
The
bald,
goatee
is
or
the
the
goatee
beard?
have,
Yeah, I think
or the
you'd look
beard?
kind of weird if you were bald. Like, unless you're Lex Luthor, you got to have some facial hair. And even Lex Luthor in the current Supergirl series right now has some facial hair. So, but no, I'd rather
You look like
I would claim myself to be more of like a nice guy than like a bald guy. I don't know, but I don't know. Actually, it's weird too. It reminds me of a story that two of my ex coworkers told me that in their one of them was born in Mexico and one of them is just like from a Mexican family, and they actually said that a lot of women in Mexico, they're into bald guys because I guess culturally, classically, being bald means that you're like wealthy, you're mature, like you're well in, you're well off in life. So I mean, if I was in Mexico, maybe I would get more ladies, but being here in America, I don't know, being short and bald, I don't know. I didn't have the greatest luck with the ladies, but hey, maybe other bald guys are more lucky than I am. So, Love and Life Lisa, thank you so much for the question. So did you read the James Bond? I mean, this is going back weeks, bro, but
Jeez, you're killing me, bro. I told you I have a memory.
But no, I know. I mean, so, but you know the gist. He's trying to save this. He's trying to get with this lady, or like trying to save her, and then she kind of fights with him at first because she's like, "Who are you?" And she doesn't believe who she is, and she's like, "No, I'm trying to save you," right? And so it kind of boils down to that. It was just more of an introductory, issue. There's 4 to 5 more. Usually the Bond ones are 5 or 6 issues, but I thought it was a good setup. Of course, this is going to be the love interest. James Bond is not bald, so he gets a lot of chicks. So
what was it?
Maybe that'll tell you something.
But what does he get though? Or what was it again though? What's his mission about again?
Again, I don't know why I threw it out there because I read it that long ago too. Shoot, like I'm flipping through it. There's crap. There's
I thought you had.
Yeah, it says arms dealer with his fingers in pots across the globe. Some with legitimate structures of government. Others on the reverse side of that equation. He's being held in Belmar. They ran a ship. Yeah, I mean it's kind of tough. I mean, let's go ahead and dig into number 2 in issue 2 because that'll give us a better picture of the story. But yeah. So sorry for bringing that up. I guess I shouldn't have since both of us read that like 2.5, 3 weeks ago. But to round out the comic book side, both Batman and both Detective were pretty good. Got to say,
Detective was awesome.
Both Batmans are top 5 for me, like week in and week out. Detective being a little bit better, as you stated last week, and I think we're gonna trust that for
and that
months to
backstory
come.
in Detective. The backstory, the second story at the end of Detective, Arkham Rising, awesome story, man.
What'd you think about the first issue of Batgirls? That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool too, with Orphan and yeah, I think that was pretty dope.
That one was decent. I kind of like what they're doing, DC, actually, with these backstories, right?
Yeah, because that's what they said they're going to give us. They're going to charge you an extra $1, but you're also going to get a side story of about 6 pages every week. So it kind of makes it more worth it.
And it's not just, the side stories kind of, they actually tie in with the main story that's going on. That's what I actually really do like about it, because sometimes it's like you almost have to read that backstory to understand the whole, what's going on in the whole universe, really,
like with
Joker them right now.
And Punchline. Punchline's been that side story in Joker since the beginning, and that one's pretty cool too, being mostly in the prison, but I think that's cool.
But in Detective and Batman, they've been changing them up. Yeah, you're right. The
Mm-hmm.
Joker hasn't really been getting changed
Yeah,
up.
like Ghostmaker was in one of them, and yeah, you're right.
Hmm. And then who was that other one? That one guy. Man, I can't think about it right now. But I didn't really enjoy that story. I think he was a gay dude as well. Do you remember which one?
That
Midnighter.
was Ghostmaker, right?
Midnighter.
Oh,
No, that
Midnighter.
was Midnighter.
That's right.
Midnighter.
You're right.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. That was
That story.
it was kind of
I
more
didn't really
galactic,
enjoy that
and
story.
and the guy was in his
The
head.
moon. Yeah, the Bao Fam story's been okay. The
Mm-hmm.
Moon Knight story's been good, but yeah, I enjoy thoroughly what DC has given us in the back of these
Yeah,
books. You know,
basically what I
Makes-
got from Batman 115 was Poison Ivy's about to lose her shit. So Tynion, to round out his story, he's going to have like a nice little battle royale, maybe with Batman and Poison Ivy, but she's going to stir up some stuff in his last 3 issues, because issue 118, that's when Joshua Williamson takes over. And of course, Nakano is not in a good predicament.
Kano's not doing too
No,
good.
he's not doing too good. It looks like he's going to get taken over by those little things from Bolt. So
Those little things.
little things.
What did Bruce do? He like shook him, huh? He like electrified him, and they all came out of him.
Yeah,
and now
that was.
they're like,
I mean, like, but he was going back and forth. He's like, I can bring this whole thing down. Like, there's been so many explosions down here in the tunnels that I don't know what's going to happen if I do this. But he's like, please just trust me. I'm gonna electrocute you. So please, and then finally, he's trying to have him get up. So we don't know if Nakano's dead or alive. And yeah, we'll see. But but
now they're going through the sewer, dude, onto the streets of Gotham.
but you figure
man.
that those ones are dead, right?
I don't know. That's how strong these parasites are, bro. These parasites are stronger than this damn Rona, man, out here, dude.
Right. Okay, so that's the comic book talk of this week. Before we move on, anything you're excited for this week coming out? I guess I would probably be excited for
Primordial. Gotta be.
Yeah, gotta be Primordial. Because I'm only getting like 5 books this week. It's actually a light stack. Oh, there you go. Human Target. I did not pick up Human Target, so please have a full review for us next week. But probably Primordial. I mean, of course, Batman, but that's like a given. Excited what Knighted, because I'm all in on this Resistance. This whole.
You are. You're all about it. Huh?
I'm all about. I'm all about it. I've actually passed on the last
you're
3 or 4
on the AWA Resistance.
But I've passed on a lot so far.
Have
on
you?
AWA, I've passed on the last few. I feel like the last 3 stories that I've gotten from AWA have been Resistance Uprising, Moths, and now Knighted, which are all in the Resistance universe. You know what I'm saying? Like I passed on Out, I passed on the Telepaths one, and like another 1 or 2. I passed on the one you were reading, the one with the car. Looks like Miami Vice on every front cover.
Yeah,
Chariot. Yeah, I passed on that one. So we'll see. Going into some of the news. I don't know if you have any news. Please throw some out. Here are just some of the headlines. We can talk about it right now. First order of business. Boondock Saints 3 has been confirmed. Thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I didn't watch it until later on in life, about 10 years ago. Really good movie. But the original director, Troy Duffy, and 2 actors, Norman Reedus, who currently plays Daryl on The Walking Dead, and Sean Patrick Flannery are all back to give you some of that good, gory Irish boy killing. So, did you ever watch Boondock Saints?
I didn't.
It's a good movie. It's like, it reminds me of The Hitman, because they're always going through the church, but they're just, 2 Irish guys who are, out for blood, out for vengeance, and kicking ass, taking names while they're doing it. It's a good story. I never watched the second one. It's like I don't know if it's a spinoff, sequel, prequel. I don't know. Can't tell you. But this one is with all the original cast and then also the OG director. So that should be. That should be good. Okay, moving on. Nintendo's closing some more offices there, bud. So everyone's moving to Texas and everything, but they're actually closing. As far as I think, sometime in 2022, Nintendo is closing 2 sales and marketing offices. One of them is right here in the Bay Area in Redwood City, and the other one is in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I guess it says here in the article that it's coinciding with the departure of Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Nick Chavez, who is taking a position at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hey, hey, Colonel, you gotta love
go
that
with Colonel
chicken,
Sanders, and then
Colonel.
there you go. You're closing down buildings. So roughly 100 employees will be out of a job unless they can find them, work elsewhere.
That's all bad, man. It's bad when you're losing work to, Colonel Sanders out there. But man, Nintendo probably gave him a good penny. Yum Brands, pretty big, is huge in China. KFC in China, man. Go look at the numbers, man. They love that chicken out there. But yeah. Here's another news for you, Mike. I know you're going to be very excited about this one,
God.
Mike. HBO Max's live-action Green Lantern series may still be far away from its debut, but it's saying here that it's going to be a little darker, a little bit deeper and darker than first expected, man. With here saying that it's going to be more akin to the Watchmen event series in terms of tone, something that may not only shift what fans expect from the series, but how each of characters are portrayed. That's according to the Illuminati from
Illuminati?
Illuminati.
That's a good name.
The Illuminati. I never heard of them, but just is via comicbook.com. But yeah, according to the Illuminati, it's going to be a little bit darker. The report doesn't have much details yet, but it's going to be, I think, a little bit more on the, adult side for you, Mike. So I know we talked about it earlier. You're going to be excited about that one. So give us your take.
If DC is, or at least things that came out on HBO, if they went to an all kind of like Black Label deal, I'd be thoroughly for it. Of course, do your Justice League, do your Flash, and all those movies, Batgirl and everything. If it's not, well, I think Batgirl's on HBO Max. Not sure. Either way, the Batman, if those are going to be cinematic features, fine, keep it PG-13. But anything on HBO Max, Titans rated R, Doom Patrol is rated R. I'm sure the GCPD, the one that's kind of coinciding with the Batman, it's on HBO, of course. Why put it on HBO if you can't make it like a Black Label type story? Keep Marvel, they're cinematic, they're Disney Plus, they're going to be PG-13. That's fine. Let them do that. But you know what, DC? Cater it more towards the adults. Because let's be honest, Alex said it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago best. Are comic books for kids? No, they're not. They're not for the kids. The t-shirts, the thermoses back in the day when we had the lunchboxes and thermoses, and the toys, and video games, that's for kids. The books are mainly for, your late teens to into your 40s. He said, what's the average reader is like in their 40s,
Isn't that wild to you, though, how these companies have totally been able to spin off from something that is their bread and butter back in the day, and which was comic books, but how they can still sell, their product to be able to market and sell their product to all different people of ages, of, likes. It's just crazy to me, because how could you be selling like Spider-Man, like lunch boxes and stuff to kids, but then like what I encountered when I was at, Treasure Island Comics a couple weeks ago, the kid comes in with the mom and Alex is like, I can't sell you that. It's like rated teen, and the kid's like 11 or 12 or
dang.
something, like a little bit younger. And it's just like, it's crazy that a kid can't just go to the store and pick up like the Spider-Man comic, unless he's like a real teenager, right? It's just kind of like they have the little section where it's like a little bit softer, but I mean, in a way, they market it to every individual, and they find a good way of writing the kiddie books, the adult books, the even darker books when it comes to
they cater to all ages, for sure.
They cater to everybody, but when you go to this comic book shop and you're like, let me get Spider-Man, it's like you're looking for that specific series, the main Amazing Spider-Man, right? The ongoing from forever, so, but I don't know. They make their money either way, but I just wish that there was more readers, if you will, that read the books.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned earlier, Marvel doesn't even really want to make comic books. And it kind of goes to show, right? I get Batman, and then I get like Miles Morales, or I get a couple other, Marvel stories. I can read through a Marvel story in like 10 minutes, 7, 8, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
When it comes to like these Batman stories, I mean, it takes me a little bit longer. There's a little bit more writing, a little bit more stuff going on. I just feel a lot like sometimes Marvel's, it's a little bit more elementary for me. It's just,
yeah.
Like when I say, he's like, oh, I can't sell Miles Morales to a kid that age. And he's like, it's rated teen. I'm like, I get it. And it's like, yeah, I guess he like kisses a girl, whatever. There's a little bit of violence, but I don't know. It's almost like I don't know. I guess I come from a different era.
I mean,
dude.
but you're
like, I would have read Miles Morales when I was 12, back, when I was younger. But it is.
But then Alex is just doing his job too. You'd hate to catch any flack for selling a kid that's 10, 11, 12, a teen, and then they come back in and they try to sue your ass because, everyone's suing everyone nowadays. Everyone's complaining about everyone, everything, trying to cancel everyone. So he's playing by the rules, and he can never say that, hey, I didn't sell you that. He can never say that.
Please don't cancel the Treasure Island comics, guys, please.
No, please, God, no. But yeah, I mean, you can see it in the writing. That's why I dropped Thor. I want to be able to like these Marvel comics, but most of them are just trash, dude. I'm sorry. They're short. They're not well thought of. I don't see any. I don't see the quality in them. Sounds like they're not even trying. They're trying to market. They're trying to make these movies and these TV shows a lot more than they're trying to make the books. And DC is more on the, I don't know. I think they're trying to do it full circle. They're not as successful in the movies as Marvel is, but they're better. But there are better books. There are I would say better TV shows. I mean, Marvel did take a step up with all these Lokis and the WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. They definitely took a step up. But I'd still take Titans.
Well, I'd still
take Doom Patrol. I'd still take a couple of these CW shows, like very, very good. A peak, Flash, Arrow, better.
DC is getting better with their movies. They're working on it too.
I mean, the Flash is going to be good. It's a Flashpoint movie. The Batman's going to be okay. I think it's going to be good. Colin Farrell looks like a hell of a penguin. Let me tell you. So we'll see. A couple more news, just real quick. New 5-issue Iron Fist series is coming out in 2022. That reminds me, Marvel did it right with their TV shows on Netflix. I love Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, The Defenders. I didn't, I'm watching them in order, so I never got to watch The Punisher, but I heard that's the best out of all of those ones, so they did it right with the TV shows on Netflix, so why can't they do more with their movies? But no, new 5-issue Iron Fist series out in 2022 by Alyssa Wong and up-and-coming artist Michael YG, and it's not Danny Rand this time. From the cover that I see on the article, this is what the article is saying, it's not what I'm saying, so I'm not saying this, but from the article, it's saying that he looks more of an Asian descent. So it's, it's a kung fu, it's more of like a, martial arts thing. What better way, more inclusion, than to have an actual Asian American doing that? So stay tuned for that one in 2022, folks. Sony, who gives you your PlayStations. Sony has sold 13.4 million PS5s to date, and that is one.
They give you Peter Parker also.
Yeah, right. But they gave you Miles Morales. They knew he'd be huge in a different community, in a different marketplace. And look at him. Arguably one of the best Spider-Man movies, in my opinion, of all time. Love Little Miles Morales. I love that movie, Into the Spider-Verse. Love it. But yeah, so 13.4 million PS5s to date. That is 1 million more than in quarter two, so in July to September, than in quarter one, and is only second to quarter 3 of last year. So Sony, I know they want to sell more, but doing so far so good for those video games. And that's it for me for the news. I want to talk about one more thing, but did you have any more news or anything, other topics you want to talk about before we close out?
Yeah, I got a couple, and you know what? I found such a good news article. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but I want to actually touch on something here, guys. It's not that serious. Whatever your views are, we're all in the comic community. We all love reading this stuff. We all appreciate everybody from all walks of life, ethnicity, backgrounds, who puts their time and effort into making these events, making these books, making these movies and everything that, saturates the comic book industry and the world around it. Because man, it is pretty big. We do talk about sometimes how I just mentioned earlier that we wish there were more readers because they say there's not many comic book readers and they fizzle out. I feel like we could be getting some back. Obviously the industry is really, prominent with the movies, and I think the comic cons actually help add to that individual aspect a lot, because even people that might not even read or be so much into the movies as well, they might even just go to a con just because it's something to do in their city. You might have some, hipsters that live downtown or whatnot, and there's going to be a comic con like 10 blocks, 5 blocks away from their spot, and it's something to do that week. So they go, they enjoy it, they see how there's cosplay. Then they're like, oh, I can have Halloween more than once a year. Okay. So maybe they get into it that way, but nonetheless, dude, let's get back to this news story. It's not that serious, guys, but supposedly, Mike, LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, had to have patrol on some of the homes of several artists and production workers. TMZ is reporting here from DC staffers requesting that the officers patrol several homes of artists and production workers because of, threats and, other accusations that were posed upon some of these artists and creators of the son of Kal-El, which is the son of Clark Kent, John, that's a 17-year-old that basically came out as bi, which a lot of people have still mistaken for it being Clark, the real Superman.
Probably
but it's not, guys.
Probably some of those people who are giving threats. They
probably some
still
of these people
think
that are giving
it's
threats.
Clark Kent, dumbasses.
So it's not Clark Kent, it's his son. He came out as bi, and obviously now they say that nothing has happened yet, but just to be on the safe side, it's kind of crazy that you would actually. I mean, who are? It's Tom Taylor, right? I think Tom Taylor is writing the son of Kal-El. Yeah, over the years, quoting Tom Taylor, he says, over the years in this industry, it probably wouldn't surprise you to hear I've had queer characters and storylines rejected. I felt like I was letting down people I loved every time this happened, Tom Taylor told IGN last month. But yeah, just it's happening here, but it doesn't have to get to that point, guys. Just why give death threats for people that just deliver these stories?
It's fake.
It is what it is. Let them write what they want to write. If it's a free world, it's a free country. If I don't know about worlds sometimes, Jesus, the stuff I see out there, but it is a free country as of now in America. So if you don't want to read it, man, you don't have to read that shit. Just
unsubscribe. Tell your local comic book store, like, hey,
don't put it on the pool. It's not that big of a deal. It's not Superman. They didn't make Clark go by. It's his son. Just relax a little bit, get off of it. Los Angeles Police Department has so much other stuff they have to deal with on the daily and on the weekly. So let them chill. The last thing they need to do is, be patrolling DC artists and production workers, down in Los Angeles and Ventura and whatever damn county they're in. But yeah. That's it's pretty crazy, man.
It's stupid. It's not even a real person. It's a book. Like, what's wrong with writing a book? Like, has Superman, Clark Kent, or that whole Metropolis and the Kent Farm universe really made that much of an impact on your life that you're now going to go give death threats or at least violence threats to these people who are making this story?
1937, dude.
How does it affect? How does it affect your life?
Want change.
How does it affect your pocketbook? How does it affect your well-being? Does it affect your wife or your husband? Does it affect your kids? Does it affect your really? It's not that big of a deal. Move on and worry about something.
But then it affects the community because now there's not patrol officers patrolling what they should be doing.
And they just paid for it. They paid for a now less safe LA Ventura County because now they're patrolling, they're sitting and staking out these people's houses because they're going to put Molotov cocktails up their ass. Like, what? It's just stupid.
Jesus.
Just stupid. Like,
Yeah.
let someone write a book. It's a book, and if you don't agree with whatever someone's writing, whether they change a race of a character or the gender of a character, like, can you imagine the uproar it's going to happen when someone goes trans or whatever, or when they even make a brand new trans character? Dude, people are going to be up in arms, these assholes. Like, dude, just don't read the book. Go read your Batman. Go read the Spider-Man. Go read whatever book that doesn't, pertains to you. It's something that you don't like, just like a podcast, just like a radio station, just like a TV show. If you don't like what's going on, you don't have to follow it. But so many people have taken their time out of their day to let it affect them mentally when it has nothing to do with their lives, their pocketbooks.
Is the sky even blue today, Mike?
Right?
Was the sky
Thank you,
blue?
Matt DiBenedetto. Dude, it's not a bit. It's chill. Take a step back, take a shot, puff some of that. Take a hit of your pen. Chill, bro. It's not that big of a deal. Son of Kal-El #5 comes out. It's, you know what, they should buy it because it's going to be a freaking one of those hot books, on that website. It's gonna be a hot book to buy because it's Jonathan Clark coming out as bi and having a relationship with another male character, and it's gonna be a hot book to get. All the variant covers of it and everything. You know what? Those people are gonna regret it. Oh shoot, maybe I should have got that one because now it's selling for $1,000 in a couple of years.
Yeah,
stupid.
When it comes to money, they're not worried. When it comes to money, everybody turns a blind eye, right?
Yeah.
So, but speaking of that damn website that you were just talking about, how did I have not known about this website? But this is actually a good one to know, comic bookie fans. Jot this one down, and this actually might be, this could actually be something that we
we have a segment. We have a segment every other week.
We have a segment on it. We can have a segment on it every week, right? It's coverprice.com. It's books that are rising in value every week, and this week, man. So pretty much, they what coverprice.com does is they take analytics to identify from sales and analytics to identify and compile the most robust market price guides, highlighting the top trending comics each week. No opinions, just data. Each week, they present a newly updated list of the top 10 comics. These trends are due to rumors, fan favorite covers, story-driven content, and content-related news. So this is pretty cool, man. In my opinion,
if that doesn't spell out what the comic bookies is all about, I don't know what is. Colliding the worlds of sports, gambling, and comics. Come on, you're future betting on these books.
We already give out our picks. We give out, futures on baseball, NBA, and, what all our sports that we talk about. This is pretty much, we wanted to base this comic book and sports podcast around, and a little bit of gambling, which is actually, Vegas is still churning a profit last time I heard, right? And these states are still, more and more states every month and every year are just, letting sports gambling and whatnot be legal in their state. But I think it's pretty cool what we hit on this podcast, and now this, I think this can be this should be a segment. I don't think it can, it should. And just this week, let's hit it. Number 10, and I like how they give you,
dude, it's like TRL. Sitting at the top spot for a third week in a row is this book. We can be our own Carson Dailies.
So yeah, exactly. And then right here, it's Incredible Hulk $4.49, dude. Right here, it had a high sale price. It's coming in at number 10, but it had a high sale price of $3.35. A GGC 9.8 are selling for almost pretty much $650, while raw copies at fair market value $177. Mike,
nice.
Coming in at number 9 is Nova #1, a Marvel. Dude, so right here you're getting a high sale of 102, CGC 9.6 for 13. Wait, no, $102 for a CGC 9.6, 13 for a raw copy, Mike. So that's Nova number.
So just give us the top 3, and then we're gonna actually we'll go through it next week. Just give the top 3 this week.
Top three. Okay. The top 3, man. So coming in at number 3, Black Widow. Well, number 4, House of Slaughter, number 1, actually. But coming in at number 3, Black Widow, number 12. The Black Widow, the first appearance, helped this issue hit a fair market value of $20.49 a copy. So $20 if you got Black Widow 12, not bad. X-Men 95, that's coming in at number 2. First appearance of X-Men 95 had a high sale of $30 for a raw copy, and it's trending at fair market value at $24. Number 1, House of Slaughter. Mike, this one is the continuation, right, of Something is Killing the Children, I believe. Mm-hmm. This is your boy, Tynion, our boy. We love him. So it helped collectors, online sales, hit a sale high sale of $69, and a raw copy is currently going from fair market value of $35 right now, guys. So nice. These are books that if you get number 1s and you get not, actually first printings and whatnot, because like we mentioned last week, a lot of these publishers are like not even printing second printings anymore. So you got to make sure you get on the pool. You got to make sure you let Treasure Island Comics know that you need it. And get these books, man. These ones, you can actually turn a little profit here. There's a market for everything. And there's a market in comic books, and there's a market in sports. And we're here, the Comic Bookies podcast, weekly to talk about and deliver those markets to you, the fans. So thank you,
That sounds good, too, because we're going to be out without NASCAR soon. We're going to be without baseball. We're only going to have football, basketball, and hockey, so we can squeeze in that segment for sure, along with everyone's favorite. It's been a while, but today in comic bookie history, that's got to be coming back for the fall and winter time as well. But to close my thoughts out, I've been catching up. She's watched more episodes without me, like while I'm at work, because she's the one who wants to catch up on it. But man, if you ever have a chance, if you have never watched it, man, The Sopranos is just the best. It aged well like a fine fucking wine, you know what I'm saying? And I just love watching it with my wife. I think we just finished season 3, so we're basically almost halfway done with the series. But after watching Many Saints of Newark, she really liked the movie, so she wanted to catch up on the show. So we've been doing that the last couple weeks, kind of just lounging up on the couch after the kids go to bed and having a glass of red wine, just feeling like a real Italian, because her family's from Sicily, so she's she definitely gets into it, the whole Italian thing, even though she has obviously, well, we don't know. But no ties to the mafia, no ties to any kind of New Jersey or New York organized crime. But it's a damn good show if you've never seen it. Obviously, I don't think I have to tell anyone to go out and see it if you haven't. But that's all for me, bud.
Yeah. What year when did it first air, The Sopranos?
Like 98, 99, like late 90s.
Is it that old?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say like 04, 05.
That's probably like when it ended, because it was seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6A and 6B. I don't know why they just didn't do 7 seasons, but The Sopranos was 99 to 2007.
How many episodes a season?
13, like an FX series. Not bad. Yeah, well, it won't take you too long. She started this like 3 weeks ago, and she's already through season 3.
Wait, it was HBO, right?
It was HBO. It's a Sunday night HBO
right.
show. Yep. And that's what I told the story about a couple weeks ago. I binge watched that series old school, doing the whole Blockbuster online, getting the first 2 discs of season 1, watching it, wrapping them up, taking it to Blockbuster, and then trading those in for discs 3 and 4, and then getting 5 and 6 mailed to me. Like I did that whole thing, like for 2 months. Yep, that's how I binge watched Sopranos. So
you said 97 to 07?
99 to 07.
99 to 07. Wow.
Yeah, like when it's funny too. Like watching it now, it's like they rip off these trucks that are like, look at this HD TV. It's got blah 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 this. I'm like, oh, like HD TVs were like the thing. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like what we have like compared 22, 23 years later. Now it's pretty crazy to think like
4K.
What it was back then. Like every episode they're dropping calls because their cell service sucks. They're like got the little. Only Tony's got the flip phone. Everyone else has the Nokia. It's like it's so funny.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I highly recommend it. So that's all for me, Mark. If that's all for you, that's it for episode 131. An amazing episode as usual. Love getting together with my guys. Sorry that Sean's not here. Hopefully he'll be back. Of course, as everyone knows, if they're fans of the show, Sean's about to have a little baby boy in the beginning of December. Or if his wife and the baby decide to come earlier, then he'll probably miss a few weeks. Which rightfully so. He should, but he hopefully will be back next week. But that's it for 131, bro. Take us away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. As always, we appreciate you guys listening. As we always tell you, share these episodes with people that you know. Share it with like-minded individuals who share the same ambitions as we do. That, there's 3 different aspects of this show. Whether you're into comics, you can listen. Whether you're into entertainment, you can listen. Whether you're into new breaking news, you can listen. Sports, you can listen. Gambling, you can listen. Man, there's any reason for you guys to listen and your loved ones to also listen to this podcast. But as always, follow us at the Comic Bookies on all social media and the Comic Bookies at gmail.com. We appreciate if you guys drop the line. Anybody that wants to give us some picks, try to fade us, go against us. I think I'm the only one right now currently over 500, but these guys are trying. They're right there, but it's been a hard season, a difficult one at that. Just like Aaron Rodgers, boom, all of a sudden he's not playing. So if you took him earlier, you're screwed now. But thank you, guys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great weekend. Shout out Atlanta Braves. You guys are victorious for the World Series, and college football rankings are out like we talked about. NASCAR is getting down to the gritty, the last race of the season until we see the new next gen car next year. So it's fun times now. As we said, Thanksgiving's approaching. So what thanks can you guys give, like I said, to share this podcast? But we love you guys, and always drop us a line and take us away also, Mike. So thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Treasure Island Comics is the sponsor. We are on all social media, whether it's a good place to, be at or not, negative or positive. We are at the Comic Bookies on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Email us, thecomicbookies@gmail.com. Please subscribe to the Twitch and YouTube pages. We've taken a couple weeks off from the videos, but we will soon be airing those pretty soon. I want to, ever since I've been taking down this data and actually making a list, I think it's been about 6 to 8 months, but welcome another African country to the Comic Bookies podcast passport to Algeria, our 37th different country, including the United States, since I've been taking this data. So, that's pretty amazing. We are worldwide. Please share with your friends and family from not just the United States, but other countries. Mark and Sean, get on Portugal. We need to get that country on the Comic Bookie passport.
Man, but Algeria's right there, too.
I know, right? Just south of it. So, but yeah, there's plenty of stuff to watch, plenty of sports and TV shows, comic books to read. So, everyone just have yourselves a wonderful first weekend of November. The holiday season is upon us. Just, just be good to each other. Who gives a shit if there's Superman's son's bisexual? It doesn't affect your pocketbook. It doesn't affect your wife, your husband, your kids, your house, anything, your job. If it doesn't affect you, just sit back, relax, be happy, man. And so for Sean and for Mark, this is Mike. This has been the Comic Bookies Podcast, a wonderful episode 131. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy freaking each other. Peace the hell out. See y'all next week.
Peace. And always enjoy each other. And always remember to really enjoy each other, because like that 23-year-old girl that got her life taken because of Henry Rugg's stupid mistake, stuff can happen in the blink of an eye. And we're here to enjoy these great times, but we're also here to be safe, be smart. And the holidays are coming up. Don't drive drunk. Don't drive stupid. Don't do anything dumb, and just be safe out there. We love you, Comic Bookies. Let's go. Peace.